What's up, guys? Game Rules here. And this past weekend was the Oscars. But we're not here to talk about the Oscars, guys. We're here to talk about The Walking Dead. So, suck it, Oscars. So let's start off the show with a little bit of drama. Sasha and Abraham are having a little heart-to-heart talk about their relationship. Pretty much Rosita and her.
Like Rosita and Sasha's relationship? That's just what it's not.
And she chose for him to hang out with Eugene.
What? I'm starting a new shift. The watch post on Baggerly.
Is that so?
I already talked to Eugene. He wants to help out more. He said he'd take over my patrol with you.
Snooze, you lose.
Next, he wakes up with Rosita and has a moment. Alright? Well, that doesn't make it harder. So what do you think about?
I was totally thinking something else.
I didn't think about when I wrote that.
Well, it's dumb. Well, it's not dumb. Like, it's dumb from Abraham because he's all like, oh, I totally like you. I can totally, I don't know, one of his weird phrases. And then
Mother
she
dick.
tells, well, not that. He's going to tell Sasha he can mother dick her. But, like, they talk about it. He, like, professes his love or whatever. Like, he wants to get with her. And then, like, they come back and then nothing happens. But let's not forget, they live in the apocalypse. Like, Rick just lost his chick. And, of course, now we all know. Like, so that kind of, like, makes you feel like, well, what's the point in getting into something? So I can see Sasha. So it's like, see ya, buddy. I like that. I mean, I'm thinking too much for Abraham because let's face it, he's probably not gonna think that much. But don't go profess your love to a girl and then just sit back and wait for something to happen or not expect the girl to get mad. I'm just saying, it was kind of, and it sucks for Rosita, obviously.
Because she doesn't know what's going on.
But let's face it, Rosita has plenty choices. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I'll tell you later.
Alright, moving on. Moments later, the town realizes that their guest, Jesus, has escaped his basement prison. What the hell? Is it Jesus? Carl is actually the third person that finds him, but he's the one that finds him and points a gun at him first. And then the rest of the peeps come in, barging in, and that's when they figured out about Rick and Michonne.
The hell are you
Whoa,
doing?
crap. Carl?
You think this is gonna happen?
Sitting on the steps, looking at this painting, waiting for your mom and dad to get dressed. I am Jesus. Carl. Hey.
Well, now he knows.
It's okay.
You said we should talk.
Awkward! Here, they decide to talk to Jesus and see what he has to say. So pretty much, Jesus tells them he's from a community that does trade with other communities. And this is where Rick and the group realize, hey, we're not alone out here. What did they say? Their world is about to get bigger.
Your world is about to get a whole lot bigger.
Dun dun dun!
No. Dun dun dun. Hashtag the Cruise.
Your world's about to get a whole lot bigger.
So he belongs to the Hilltop community, and after a short discussion with Rick and his peeps, they decide to follow him or take him to his community so they can try to get some trades, right? To see what they have to offer because they're in dire need of food. They meet up outside, they load up the RV, and they get ready to go. Here, Rick and Carl have a family discussion about Rick and Michonne.
Look, I was gonna tell you about me and Michonne, but it just happened. It just happened. Last night.
First question. At this point, not that you know what's late after this part, but can we trust Jesus?
No. I mean, okay, if you want to think about it in terms that, the way that he met up and the way that he kind of, tricked
our peeps.
Daryl and Rick, like the first time he met them. Would that have been a trick that Rick and Daryl would have pulled on somebody had they had the chance?
I don't think so.
So then, okay, fine. So then I guess maybe if you think about it in those terms, then no. Then he also makes you think. Can you not trust him, considering the fact that Rick was asleep? I mean, hello, he had just had it out with Michonne.
At this point, when they had the discussion, he told them that he already been to the infirmary where they have all their weapons.
Well, yeah, but
he's been all over the place and still.
And he did nothing. He was in their armory, right? And he didn't steal their guns. He didn't take anything from them. He didn't try to kill anybody. It kind of makes you think but then with every person that's ever said, every new person outside the cool clique has come in, there's always that doubt. Can they be trusted?
Exactly.
There's always that doubt, and The Walking Dead is really good at it. Every time they've trusted somebody, bam, they get burned.
All right. Next question. What is your take on Rick talking to Carl? That was I forgot what he said. What did he say?
He goes and tells Carl. This is I'm okay.
Oh, it happened last
first
night
of
or
all,
something?
I've watched this kid grow up on screen. We've all watched this kid grow up on screen, and we're all just oh, Carl, you're a man now. You've got facial hair. And a chick, or maybe not, but we're not sure. But the dumbest things, I was gonna talk to you about Michonne, but it just happened last night. The kid doesn't need to know that. A, he figured it out. 2, kids don't ever have to know when things just happen or how things happen the night before. I'm just saying. I can figure it out, Dad. I can figure it out. I've been around a chick before. This is one of those times that Rick probably would be get out the house, Carl! Remember Jesus goes I'm waiting for your mom and dad to get dressed?
Yeah.
That's hard on a kid because that's not his mom. Never mind the Lori wasn't the best mom. Still, it's kind of hard for a kid to hear that. And then he can even be I'm sorry that, that happened or whatever. If you want to talk, that's different, but not, it just happened last night. That was... It should have been just if you want to talk about it or what do you have to say or are you okay, but not, it happened last night. Don't ever tell your kids what you were doing last night.
Alright, moving on. The road to Hilltop is pretty much uneventful.
Uneventful?
Abraham says some weird stuff on the RV.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Sure. Pouring the Bisquick. You trying to make pancakes? Yes.
And the group ends up saving some of Jesus's members, right? Community members, friends. Still hear more.
I can't go with
I think they put this part in there just to put a few more minutes in there because to tell the truth, that was the only part they put walkers in, and it was kind of all right, let's get down, save them. All right, get back in the RV and go. It's kind of nah.
Well, no, but because you also had to think about it was supposed to make you think this is a trap. You can't trust this Jesus character because it's a trap. They're gonna get ambushed or something. It might have been to add a few minutes, but I think it was also one of those parts where they wanted to make you doubt that Jesus guy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they finally get to the hilltop and they pretty much see that these people are living in the medieval era, which is awesome.
Medieval. It's at the colonial times.
So Greg, their leader, is an ass. And that's why Rick told Maggie that she was the one that was going to talk to him, not him, because pretty much he will whoop his ass, or at least attempt to.
I'll probably shoot.
Clean up first. You talk to him. Why? I shouldn't.
Well, he was rude to Maggie. No one's rude to Maggie. So Greg tells Maggie that they have nothing to trade for their food, but they can work for it. After that, some of Greg's peeps show up and told Greg that the deal went wrong with Negan.
Who's Negan? I don't like this.
They took one of their companions and told them to give Greg a message.
They still have Craig.
Said they keep him alive. Return to us. I deliver a message to you.
Punch him.
So tell me. Sorry.
Oh. This is where Rick and the group lose it.
No way, Rick, you're done back there.
No, I know. Oh, that's more like it.
Anybody who tries to stop me killing my brother.
Drop it.
Oh!
Was that Rick?
Yeah. Question 1. Do you think Rick should have gone as far as killing that guy? Could he have finished that conflict without killing that guy? Stabbing him in the neck?
He had a knife to his throat. How much was the guy really willing to negotiate? Then again, you're also trying to show, like, hey, don't mess with us. Like, we're not like scared of taking care of business. Like, you attack us, we're gonna take care of you. Like, we're not just gonna, you know what I mean?
And that's when Rick stood up. He's like, what? It's all full
That
of blood.
was hilarious.
What?
What? Like, you only have half of these guys' blood on your face and mouth. It looks like you practically bit him. So yeah, people are a little freaked out.
What?
So here's question number 2. Has Rick ever won a fight?
Oh my goodness, that was terrible. That was terrible. And I think everybody's reaction must have been like, you're never this good at fighting, because everybody has ever taken him down. The governor took him down. Shane took him down.
Shane took him down? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Shane took him down. The governor took him down. I mean, even Herschel could have probably taken him down if he wanted to. Because,
without the leg.
Yeah, because he was, he's just like, let's face it, Rick is like brave. He's good at talking people down. He's good at shooting. He can run like nobody's business holding a gun. And come on, let's face it. Like, what happened afterwards? A chick knocks him out.
That's right. What?
You killed him. All the way to the floor. But the big old like guy that had like 120 pounds on him, he took down. Like, that was really funny.
Alright, so Jesus tells the group that Negan threatens the community if they don't give him half of their food. So naturally, Rick takes advantage of the situation. Maggie goes into the room to talk to Greg and offers, actually kind of forces him half of their food, and they'll take care of Negan, which both of them desperately need both sides. They need the food and Greg needs the protection.
Half.
Hmm?
Excuse me.
Half of what you have. I saw what happened out there. Negan's expecting more supplies from this place. And more, and more.
So the group gets their supplies and they head back to Alexandria. This is where Jesus decides to go back with them, and they recruit one of the scouts that came back with that guy that Rick killed, because he knows about Negan's area, a little bit more about Negan, so they decided to take him along. And boom! Done. That's it. That was the end of the episode. So, what are your thoughts about Greg? He is an ass since the beginning. Do you think he has some attributes like the governor? Can he be a governor-like person? The only thing that's different from the governor and him is that they don't have any weapons.
No, the other thing that's different from the governor and him is that he came out the gate being a prick. Where the governor was, well, yeah, we'll take care of you. I mean, Rick could see that if he was like the governor, I don't think he would put Maggie in that situation. I think in reality, the guy has actually let the fact that he lives in that house, he basically thinks he's in the White House and he thinks he's the president and has like all this diplomacy to like negotiate and like take advantage of things.
So now we're 2 episodes in with Jesus now. Can we trust him enough to join Rick's group? Or can we trust him at all?
I don't think he can be in the group.
He seems more like a loner, right? Like he's a lone wolf.
He's like kind of like a lone wolf, but he's also kind of like like he'd go off and do his own thing and then come back and be like, oh look what I found. I found like peaches and berries and that kind of
But
thing.
isn't that what Daryl does?
Yeah, but Daryl goes out there because he's cool like that. He's a trickster. Maybe because you haven't seen a character like him in the group, you're like, yeah, we're not sure about you. But like at the same time, like I don't know that a trickster fits in because this group can trust each other. This group knows that if I turn left, you're gonna look right to see if anybody's coming at me. You know, like with him, they're like, what's this guy gonna do?
Damn.
Now, if you ask me, do I prefer Jesus over Morgan? Yes.
Here's a good question for you.
What?
The pancake. What would you like them to name the baby?
If it's the girl,
Beth.
I was gonna say Beth, but it's too cliche. I think maybe they'd go with like commemorating somebody, perhaps because Maggie had this like bond with Deanna.
Who's Deanna? If it's a girl, what name? You said Deanna? Deanna Beth?
If she was a girl, I'd probably go with Georgia.
And if it's a boy? Giorgio?
I don't know.
What about a Korean name? Huh?
Juan?
There you go. We're going with Kwan. Alright, final question. Do you think that this episode was good enough to compete with the Oscars this year?
I think the concept was good. I don't know, and it's gonna suck. And it's probably because it's in my head. I think the person who directed the same one is the same one that's directing the Fear the Walking Dead. And I think the direction probably helped to how it stand out.
I don't think it was that good to compete with the Oscars. I mean, like I told you, when they went and they started saving Jesus people, I feel that they put that part in just so they can have some walkers in there. If they didn't have that part in, the only part that there was any action was when Rick kind of like pretty much stabbed that guy's neck. Other than that, it was just them traveling there, talking to the guy, agree on the trade, and then going back. I thought it was weak, but it was still a good show.
It wasn't their best.
Well, guys, that's it for this episode of The Walking Dead Recap. Guys, let me know in the comments what you thought about this episode, the questions I asked. If you feel like expanding on it, what do you think about Jesus so far, 2 episodes in? Was this a good episode to compete with the Oscars? What do you think about the Hilltop and Greg and Negan that's coming up, their little battle? And what would you want the baby to be called or named or whatever? Let me know in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
You can't teach chemistry.
Really? Seriously, dude? There you go. Put on screw.
What? Ethan!
Huh?
You killed him! He tried to kill Gregory, then me.
Rick went down.
I don't think I will. Everyone, this is over!